Welcome to the Take a Seat podcast. This is Mario,
And Clint.
and thank you very much for joining us today. Whether it's day or night, you're wrong or right, whatever. You're here. Thank you for being here, and for everyone watching or hearing, liking, subscribing, is definitely appreciated, and we look forward to having you hear everything else. Now, a couple of days ago, or actually yesterday, I was talking to a coworker who I had before COVID, right? Because we're still transitioning right now, trying to get back to the normal, quote unquote. And before COVID, we were cool. We would talk every day. She'd stop at my desk and whatnot. She'd tell me about her daughter, boyfriend, all that shit, and likewise. But once we started coming back from work around September, coming back to work from home because of COVID, we just stopped talking. Obviously, social distancing, you don't want to expose anybody. So fast forward to yesterday, we were just catching up overall, really. And I told her, it's weird to me how we're going back to normal a little bit.
Yeah.
Like we didn't all just go through a very traumatizing experience of a pandemic.
Yeah, quickly.
And really quickly.
Yeah.
And now we're adjusting to getting back to normal because everyone's like, all right, I just want to move past this. But there's lingering, at least for me, there's definitely lingering, not trauma in the sense of childhood trauma, something like that, but more so damn, I'm never going to forget this.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
And the things I had to do to cope with the loneliness that came with being at home, not being able to see my girlfriend as usual, not being able to have a normal relationship experience with her, how we were having pre-COVID, right?
Yeah.
And thankfully, we're both alive. Neither of us got COVID. We're both vaccinated. So hopefully we'll be basically alive moving forward, at least in regards to COVID. But yeah, this woman, she was telling me about how she's kind of messed up in the head a little bit. And she's paranoid now, naturally, because she doesn't trust people anymore. She's been conditioned how I think a lot of people, because of the pandemic, where everyone was social distance, wear your face mask, everyone's dirty, wash your hands, hand sanitizer, all the time. This conditioned her to build up a routine of behaviors that led to her not trusting anyone physically or interacting with anyone. Now she has this underlying insecurity in people. She doesn't want to talk to as many people. Even with me, we were in the lunchroom, right? And it's just rather small, but she still kept her distance. And I was like, are you deliberately staying far away? And she said, yeah. She knew I was vaccinated and everything, but that wasn't the point. For her, it was no, it's my safety over everything, which is fair. It's perfectly fine. And it really made me think, and it made me think about my experience. Now, my COVID experience has not been one of it's not as bad or bad in comparison to the majority of people that are unemployed, those who have actually lost family members. In comparison to everything that actually happened to other people, I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah, right.
But during COVID, I was going to the park. I was reading a lot. I was reading a lot of books and going to the park a lot. Those first 2 months, I want to say March and April. After that, I got super bored and I got tired, and I reverted to playing video games, which I don't do often.
Yeah,
at all. I have an Xbox now and it's at home. I barely get to use it, and I don't have interest in it because I have stuff to to keep me preoccupied. But that wasn't the case during COVID. That was something that I used to cope with loneliness, cope with staying at home, getting tired of reading, getting tired of going to the park,
Mhm.
I still got to see my girlfriend, which I guess, I don't know if that was for safety measures. You would say that it's not the safest, but we just couldn't stand not seeing each other. Like our relationship was fresh, brand new.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know if it was going to work because if I couldn't see her,
Yeah.
it's just going to be really rough, you know?
Mhm.
And thankfully, you know, we both worked through it, and well, there was nothing to work. I mean, we weren't going through anything, but you know, the distance thing, and it was all good. But what about you? Do you have any? I don't know. Do you have any lingering behaviors, or like, what did you? Was this even something as like a bad experience for you?
Um, the bad experience was me having to go back into work. That was the bad experience for me, because me working from home was pretty freaking awesome. It was great, but I really wasn't as productive working on a laptop with, like, it was just impractical, the setup that I had, and the laptop was slow. But no, dude, COVID was freaking awesome for me, man.
Oh, you tripping? Man.
Like, dude, I got so much stuff done that I normally wouldn't have gotten done when it came to like my room just immaculate. I was always reading, like I always kept myself busy. Dude, I took a class from Yale, an online class from Yale on theology, which is like the study of God, right? And it was a biblical class, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I took that class, like I really got into the word a lot more, was able to study and grow deeper in the faith through that. I also studied the occult. So I was like studying both sides, like Satanism and all sorts of other doctrines in general. But I mean, dude, I was getting educated. Like I took advantage of the time, and I felt like I was improving myself, and I felt rejuvenated. I got great sleep. Like it was phenomenal, man. I loved it, and I miss it. I miss it because now, like, I feel like I'm on a hamster wheel. Like I feel like I'm going from one job to the next, and it's like I'm never really relaxing anymore, and I'm not learning as much anymore. Like aside from just YouTube, like I was actually reading books, and I don't do that on a regular, like in regular life, from day to day, because I feel like I have to have, I don't know, some sort of energy to be able to read a book. And
it does take effort, so I see what you mean.
But no, man, like I don't know, I was fine. I was totally fine. I never got bored. I never experienced boredom. Everybody else is talking about boredom, like online through memes and stuff like that. But no, I never experienced boredom. I was so content with COVID that I didn't really. And I'm not an introvert, you know that. You know, like I'm really an extrovert. But I guess what kept me okay and sane was just the thought that I knew this wasn't going to be forever. If it was going to be forever like that, and I had it in my mind, oh my God, this is never going to change. This is my life from now on. Then that would have been stressful for me. But because I knew eventually I'll get a normal life back, I wasn't tripping. So I don't know. I'm good. I have no trauma, no negative side effects from it. Except, like you were saying about her feeling uncomfortable around other people because of her not trusting them. I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I never really cared. Like, I didn't want to get COVID, but at the same time, if I got COVID, it's like, okay, well, if I die, then I die. And if I don't, then I don't. That was kind of like my mentality throughout the pandemic was if I die, I die. Although I didn't want to die. I really didn't. But, you know.
If you die, you die.
Yeah, if I die, I die. So, but now, like, I more so don't want to make others feel uncomfortable. So, like, I've noticed that I'll keep my distance from people, not for my safety, but for their safety. and kind of gauge the body language to see, okay, do they feel comfortable at this distance? What about at this distance? Are they backing away at this distance?
Yeah.
And then I know whether or not, like, where they stand just based on how they react. But
how was dating for you, if at all?
Oh, dating was great.
Yeah,
dating
you
was
actually
great.
got to date.
Yeah. And I mean, we didn't see each other. It was like virtual dating, on the just the screen or whatever.
Yeah,
and met online. So it was cool, man. I think that what was great about dating during COVID is that there is no temptation, no sexual temptation. Sex is not even something that gets involved.
Yeah.
You're getting to know the person. That's it. You're just conversating with a person to know them as a human being. And that's it. And then it's like, okay, eventually this is going to be over. Do you actually want to still meet up? And I made a great friend out of that. Like, we ended up going on a date later on and realized that wasn't it. But like, she's literally my best girlfriend now. Like, best girlfriend. Like, I'm so content with our friendship.
Yeah.
And dating was awesome. Dating was awesome. I made
shout out to you, the person he's talking about. Don't say her name.
Yeah,
but if she hears
out
this,
to you nameless woman.
Does she hear this?
No, she doesn't hear this.
Oh well,
I'll share it.
I retract it. Whatever. No shout out for you. You don't support us. Whatever, dude.
She's gonna listen.
Yeah. No, but shout out to you. Yeah, he's told me a lot about you. Mm-hmm. Anyway, you're telling me about your positive experience, and it's reminding me now, actually, like, okay, I'm not discrediting, I'm not trying to diminish anyone's horrible experience, because I know people that had a horrible experience throughout COVID.
Yeah, no.
I am truly blessed.
Yes,
we have not been affected in any financial.
Yes.
If my biggest problem was boredom, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
So I count my blessings.
Yeah.
With that being said, like you, I now feel like I'm kind of back into the gear of like work, school when I was, but before the semester ended, girlfriend, rinse and repeat, gym, whenever I could squeeze it in there. But during COVID, I actually got the chance to experience serenity.
Yeah.
So serenity. So we avoid a hiccup like last time where Google disproves Clint again. Let me actually look at the definition.
Peace.
No.
It's not peace?
Here we go.
Now I'm doubting myself for every definition.
The state of being calm, peaceful, and untroubled.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I said.
That's not exactly what you said.
But it's close enough. You said peaceful, I said peace. We're good.
I said serenity.
Okay.
But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I experienced serenity.
Okay.
I wasn't worried about like my next paycheck or my next bill. I wasn't worried about not showing up to certain things, deadlines, et cetera, I mean, I was still in school, that was done.
Yeah.
And thankfully I got all A's on everything. But
you don't got a lot. But
this one day, I remember this one specific day, I would used to ride my bike every single day for like 15, 20 miles all through downtown. And it was around May of last year, actually. Yeah, right at the peak of all this. I remember I was riding my bike and I was passing through or under, actually, the University of Houston downtown, because there's this whole network of like paths under it. I don't know if you ever endured or like tried to like walk under there, but it's really, really nice. There's amazing views of everything. And I remember I got to Buffalo Bayou Park.
Yeah.
Now I was hearing this song that I had heard back in 2007, back when I was like super Orthodox Christians, and my only avenue to like find some type of expression outside of that was through music that I heard in video games. This particular song was in FIFA 07, and it was called Tiverazao. It's Brazilian or Portuguese, but Brazilian of origin. And the song, if you hear it, it sounds extremely like peaceful. Like there's no, here, I'll just play it. Whatever. We ain't getting money off of this anyway, so. I'll play the song.
Not anymore. We're not.
Definitely not now. Here.
I think YouTube can still take it down. I don't know. Play a snippet. Don't play too much.
Okay.
Oh, we are so gonna get stuff from YouTube.
That's 15 seconds.
That sounds pretty.
But you see, it keeps the same direction.
Yeah.
So I was hearing this. I was going through this amazing, beautiful sights. The park has an amazing landscape, and when that song came on, I felt like synchrony. Like everything was perfectly aligned. Everything was perfectly fine. I wasn't worried about anything. And like I experienced, I don't know how else to explain it other than like unbothered tranquility and peace. Like there was not a single thing that could bother me. And that may have been the adrenaline because of the energy drink and the bike ride. But I mean, the song in combination with the trees and the birds and like everything, it was just an amazing thing to experience.
Yeah.
And I remember my girlfriend had texted me, and I chose to ignore her text because I didn't want to ruin the moment. I wanted to experience it. So I got off my bike, I sat down, and I enjoyed the song. I enjoyed the moment, got back on, I started listening to some Young Thug afterward.
Yeah.
But I don't get those moments like that anymore.
Yeah.
At all, actually. And I miss it. You know, again, I know I speak from a position of privilege because I was unaffected as much by COVID, but COVID did allow me to know what that felt like not having to worry about a single thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I kind of miss it sometimes. Or a lot of the times, actually.
Yeah.
Because I don't get that a lot anymore.
Yeah, no.
Or at all, actually.
I think I looked beautiful, like, during the peak of COVID.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I was well-rested, no bags under my eyes, no dark circles. It was great, dude. Dude, I was taking modafinil and putting it on my face because, like, I was letting my hair grow all the way out, dude. And you know what modafinil is?
No idea.
Modafinil is the main ingredient in Rogaine. And, like, I don't know, you go on, like, this rabbit hole of YouTube, and I stumbled across, like, this Asian guy that he wasn't able to grow facial hair, and he started putting modafinil, which is just the main ingredient in Rogaine, on his face, and the dude had a full beard, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Walgreens and buy some modafinil, so I did that, and I started using it. I mean, you don't see a full beard, but I also wasn't dedicated. Like, I couldn't stay to a routine. You have to do it at the exact same time every single day, and that's not my way of living, so whatever. But I didn't really care if I grew a beard or not, but if I did grow a beard, that would have been dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you had mentioned, like, the bird singing. I don't know if you know, like, if this is common knowledge or not, but did you know that birds singing is a dominance war?
Really?
Yes. Yeah, so it's birds showing their dominance and claiming their territory. So what I think is crazy is us as humans will look at, or we'll hear the songs of birds. Meanwhile, these songs that they're singing it's a literal war going on. It's like war cries for birds, but yet we're taking delight, like, oh, what beautiful music these birds are singing. And it's almost ironic that you're in a state of peace. Meanwhile,
they're losing their minds.
They're in calamity. Yeah. And they're fighting over territory. And it's just, I don't know, dude. It's a crazy existence, man.
So my serenity is their chaos.
In that particular moment, it's like,
it reminds me of my ex-girlfriend.
What?
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, that was supposed to be babe, don't get mad. Or I'll explain later. Whatever.
Don't call me babe, dude.
It's okay. It's 2021, dude. Anyway, so I had healthy habits of like dealing with COVID and like what was going on and everything, working out, reading, you know, not going out, exposing myself. But I also started thinking about, you know, going back to the conversation I was having with my coworker. I'm pretty sure, or I think it's a safe assumption to make when I say that I know there people probably turn to like alcohol or like drugs during that time of boredom to cope with not just being told you literally can't go out or you're gonna die, but also just because you're bored.
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to say like I think that pretty much increased. There has to be an increase. Like I don't see a way where that generalization isn't true.
Cops were having a hell of a time, dude. Like with all of the domestic violence and like people are actually had to deal with their husband or wife. When before work used to be an escape, but now you have no more escape from your partner. You have no escape from your children. You have to learn to have patience with people and learn to tolerate people, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's no hope of you leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you're stuck with this person.
And I was talking to a cop, and the cop was saying, oh, God, these domestic violence issues are ridiculous. We're getting so many house calls of having to show up to people's house because of spouses fighting. And I'm like, dang, that sucks.
I don't doubt it for a second.
Yeah.
I know that divorce rates went up, especially after like a month or two. I remember hearing about it on the news station. Or on a podcast, one of those two. And it made perfect sense. Like, yeah, I know that, like you said, people just weren't used to spending so much time with their significant other. And I'm sure the world being in chaos and you having to deal with a chaotic environment and then not having to deal with your partner every day, I'm sure it led to that. I have no doubt about it. Not that I agree with it. But, see, I'm savvy in internet culture, and I'm glad I am, because I know certain things about the internet and like not just specifically cancel culture, but like things that happen on the internet do not get the same approval that they get on the internet as they do. So they won't get approved in real life the same way they get approved of on the internet. Like ridiculing somebody's appearance on the internet is perfectly fine, but if you say it in person, actually you probably won't say it in person 9 times out of 10 because that's just something that you don't do. Like I know. What do you mean, dude? So Chrissy Teigen, for example. Yeah. Granted,
she's like a YouTuber, right?
No, she's a former model, wife of John Legend.
I'm so out of culture. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah. And granted, she puts herself in these positions, so you know a lot of her stuff is warranted by her own hand. Yeah. But the point is that having the outlet of social media to bring up past stuff to her and bully her into apologizing and whatever other stuff that may be justified.
What was the situation?
One of them was like she told some girl to kill herself like 10 years ago. She was 23 and the girl was like 16, and then now that it's coming to light, they're like throwing it in her face, and I don't know any of the exact details of the interaction between her and the girl.
I heard about that now. Thank you for reminding me of that.
But that's not the point. Like, I know that pornography went up, the trafficking. So I mean, it's just normal. It happens. You're bored. I get it. I was on there. Like, I mean, visiting, not on the actual website.
You hear that, Mario's girlfriend?
Yeah, it's all right. She was there too. I know she was.
Oh, wow.
No, she wasn't, actually. Surprisingly, she's not into that. Okay. Getting back to the point.
Okay.
I get curious about, like, one thing that has my curiosity, specifically because I have experience in it, is how many people got catfished during this whole COVID situation and dating and resorting to like talking to a bunch of random people on the internet because you're bored. Yeah. I'm curious to see like how many people actually got like catfished.
So what? Like, do you know of that actually happening?
Yes, this is a real thing. This isn't just
during
like
COVID. People are getting catfished.
In general, people are getting catfished, but I don't doubt that my general statement of more people got catfished during COVID than usual is true. I don't doubt that that's true. Yeah, I know, because out of boredom years ago, just to test the theory about sexuality and
You're about to get canceled
sexual
right now.
market. Yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. It's okay. I made a profile pretending to be a girl just to prove a point of how easy it is for you to get attention just being a woman on the internet.
So
And
you were the one catfishing.
Yes. But I never interacted with anyone.
yeah, no, sure.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
The guy that was like 10 inches long, I'm ashamed of you for sending that. That's a joke. That never happened. That's a joke. That never happened.
Okay.
No. But that it actually reminds me of, this is pre-COVID, so this didn't have, because I have no reason to be on dating at websites during COVID. Well, I have a girlfriend, so do not think that
Every other sentence about a girl is like, I have a girlfriend.
I have to, man. I compromise myself unintentionally. So, okay, I'm trying to. Yeah, fuck it. Why not? I'll just say the whole thing. So this started happening. So this was 2021, 2020. I want to say 2018. July 4th, 2018. I remember because I was in my car trying to do like a freestyle, and it just wasn't panning out. And so I was just like, all right, this is why I don't rap. And so I just stopped, right? And I was on this website. It wasn't Tinder or Hinge. It was something else. I forgot what it was. I forgot the name. But it was like a third-party stuff that like kind of let you interact with random profiles. And I remember.
What do you mean third-party stuff?
It's like some third-party website, not website, app. It didn't have like a big following. It was just like some random app that came under social, like on app iTunes. Yeah, you know, it just came up under social apps or whatever. So I remember I downloaded it, and at the time I was on Tinder and talking to other women, the usual stuff. So this girl posted this picture of her showing her ass, like in the gym. Let me be specific. Like she was, doing the booty pic, the usual stuff. Yeah. So I sent her a message like, "Wow, you look great. What's your workout routine?" I think.
Yeah, because that's really what was on your mind, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, not my sinful thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I remember we just kind of struck conversation. We just kind of like hit it off unusually, because usually back then I like to be on Tinder and like Hinge and all that, but I didn't really depend on it because there's a lot of catfishing on there too. Yeah. And I know for a fact you faced fake profiles at the very least, right or wrong?
No, I've faked. I've faked profiles. I've faked them. No, yeah, I've seen fake profiles, dude. Yeah. But like, I've never interacted with one of those fake profiles, typically because the type of women that I swipe right on won't post the type of pictures that would get the attention of most men. Like booty pics, I'm not swiping right on that. That's not wifey type for me.
Jezebels.
Straight up. Straight up. It's like, I'm not interested in that. Yeah. Like, not in the short term, like later on interested in that, but like I want to know the person, so I'm not swiping right on that. Actually, you know what? I did actually talk to one fake person. Well, it wasn't a fake person; it was a real person.
The fake profile.
No, yeah, no. Honestly, it probably was actually the chick. Okay, yeah, I take it back. Most of the time, 99% of the time, I swipe left on those. But I happened to swipe right on one. and the conversation got weird, and I was like, yeah, well, what did you expect, Clint? So there you go.
Yeah. So back then, it was like one of those half-ass types of conversations, but it was grasping my attention because I was like, oh, this is kind of detailed.
Mhm.
So I remember feeling that. I don't remember the exact context of whatever the hell we were saying.
Yeah.
But we were back and forth for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, this is sad.
Yeah, it really was.
This is sad.
Well, I mean, I was half entertaining it. I wasn't really like expecting anything because if you've been on Tinder, Hinge, and all that, you really talk or message each other for a couple of weeks before you really do anything, whether it's coffee date or whatever. So I didn't think anything of it.
Mhm.
And this individual was sending me pictures of the same person that they were posing as, like, constantly. And they showed me a Instagram profile and everything, and it just seemed extremely genuine. Like, everything was aligning, like time, dates, pictures, like where they were saying they were, everything down to a T. To the point where initially I was like, there's no way this is real. Like, this almost doesn't make sense. But everything was just so perfectly timed that it convinced me, like, oh, damn, I guess you are real. Cool. I didn't think much of it after that. But what raised my, like, a huge red flag is, I remember I asked, like, hey, let's go get coffee, or let's go eat something real quick. Because we had, in my head, we had some type of rapport that was friendly enough to want to interact in person now.
Yeah.
You know? And they were just like, oh, I'm doing this or I'm doing that, et cetera, just like coming up with excuses, which at the time, I was already dating other people. So it wasn't a big deal to me. It wasn't a priority. Mm-hmm. But I always thought, I remember thinking, like, man, this is interesting. Like, you're deliberately avoiding, meeting up, which is fine. I don't mind just talking to somebody, but it seems wasteful to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm investing my time in other people anyway. So, whatever. So I hung on to her for some fucking reason. Maybe the chick was really pretty, and maybe that's why,
Yeah.
Or actually, no, that's
I'm
exactly
sure that's
why. Yeah, that's exactly why. That's the only reason why you would.
It wasn't because of her workout routine. I'll tell you that.
No. And it was interesting now in hindsight because, like, I was having sex with multiple partners. Like, I was actually dating, but for some reason, this is what I was hanging on to.
Yeah.
That's what I can't explain. Like, where's the logic in? You have real life situations you're dealing with, right? Interacting with, which are perfectly fine, mm-hmm. but you won't stop or leave this one specific profile alone.
Okay, but the real life experiences, were they as fine as the fake profile that you were talking to?
No.
Of course
I
not.
think if they were, I would have stopped.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say that. Like, no, they were a lot more fun because obviously...
Well, they're real people.
Yeah, but I don't want to say they weren't fine. They were attractive, but they just weren't as attractive as.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
The way you worded it made it seem like I'm like, no, these are ugly bitches. Like, no, that's not what I'm trying to.
I'm just saying, it's like if you have an opportunity to level up, you're most likely going to level up.
I see that. Yeah.
Especially if you're just being a hoe.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, this is ancient history, so whatever.
Was that for your girlfriend?
Yeah. Anyway, so we were going back and forth for weeks because I was like, damn it, I really want to fuck you. Like, just to put it into vague terms. Mm-hmm. That's the point. Mm-hmm. But kept giving me the runaround, and again, I was justifying it in my head, like, oh, I guess this is just entertainment, so fine.
Yeah.
But what I didn't realize at the time is that I was actually starting to like this fucking individual.
Did you talk to them on the phone?
Yes.
Oh.
That's another thing.
Was it a dude?
So, no.
Darn it.
He had a nice voice, though. No. No, I wasn't. So, we actually Snapchatted.
Uh-huh.
FaceTimed.
How?
I have no idea.
Were they under a blanket?
I have no idea how this individual...
Were they wearing a hijab?
No.
How do you face?
Dude, I cannot explain. I wish I could show you how this was happening in the moment, because they were sending me Snapchats as we were talking about certain subjects, and it was perfectly timed and aligned to what was going on in that specific moment in time of whatever conversation we were having. Okay. So I was completely convinced that this was real, that this individual was real, that them saying they liked me was real, because I'm like, okay, if Snapchat is fine, FaceTime is fine, this has to be fine. Like, you just definitely don't trust me yet or something like that. So again, red flags left and right, but I was hanging on to like threads of things to like justify the means of what was going on.
Yeah.
Again, this is all hindsight.
Oh yeah. Girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. Hindsight, ancient history. But I remember thinking, like, I actually stopped talking to a lot of the girls that I was dating and interacting with, just because I was like, no, okay, maybe she thinks that I have all these other options, so maybe if I show her a screenshot of my phone that I'm not talking to anybody.
Thank God you said phone.
And all that, like, what do you mean? Why?
Nothing, just keep going.
And so,
yeah,
this was like... Yeah, no, I sent her a screenshot of my phone, not sent her like images or anything like that. Like, no. Well, I did that too, which I regret that, because I was sending.
Frederick now has like 12 pictures of your penis.
No, well, okay. So the catfish was actually a girl.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
we don't know that.
Ending. Yeah, I know. You forced me to say the ending a little bit, but anyway, so. Again, this was going on for like 2 months now, actually. This was July, August, late August. Now, in late August, I remember Travis Scott's album had just came out, and I was blasting that.
What album was that?
2018 Astroworld.
Oh, okay.
Fire album, by the way.
Yeah.
Now, I remember it was a Sunday, and I just went to brunch or like to hang out with my friend Roderick. And this individual called me and was like, hey, I want to talk to you real quick. And so it was a female voice, guaranteed. It was. So she was like, hey, I think we should just stop talking or like seeing each other or something like that. And I was like, I've never seen you, so I guess this is fine, but not really, because I dropped a lot of my options because I was trying to get to know you or see you or whatever, but you made it really hard to want to see you, but I still want to see you. Like, I was completely in this, like, not trance, but like in this state of mind where like, no, I want to see you. Like, I have to see you. Like, I dropped all this stuff. I did all these things. I was doing all kinds of, finding a lot of time that I didn't have to try to talk to you. Like, I felt like this feeling of like I'm owed something for all my efforts.
Yeah.
Which I know, if you speak to somebody that's been catfished before, they will tell you they understand the sentiment that I just expressed right now. And hindsight is 2020 again. You know, it was a waste of time. You always follow your first instincts, your gut, whatever. But this individual, or the woman, was like, no, I don't want to meet up. Whatever. Bye. Hung up.
Hold on. What do you think the psychology of a woman catfishing a man with the image of another woman, but yet also not going to meet up with him ever? What's the point of it?
Validation, insecurity.
But validating what? A different person?
No, I this is just my theory. Right. Based off of that and after thinking about that and overcoming that shit. And really just talking to other women who know women who catfish either for fun or because they're insecure. The root of it all is just insecurity. They don't like their existence, or they don't know that they're valid as they are, so they feel the need to take up this different identification or take up the personality of somebody else in order to validate their existence. Like there's this twisted, no, it's a problem. It's not twisted because sometimes it's not evil. There isn't an evil intent behind it. It's just more so like lacking attention. So finding the means to get attention. But the root of that is insecurity. That's it. Like that's the exact psychology behind.
No, I get it. I mean, I agree with it.
Somebody
but it's like
to
you're getting validated for the looks of somebody else, and then you have to just feel bad about yourself because you know that this dude would never talk to you if you didn't look like this chick.
Yeah,
it's like he's not talking to you because of your personality. He's talking to you because of your butt pics on a sink or whatever you're doing at the gym.
The funny thing about it is that when I found out who it really was, I would have been more than happy to talk to this individual.
Oh, so she wasn't even unattractive?
She wasn't unattractive. That's the thing that like blew my mind after everything.
I'm sorry,
happened.
I meant he wasn't unattractive.
Yeah. She.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he.
She.
Okay.
Yeah, that's at the beginning. Yeah, she. Anyway, so for some reason, her breaking it off, whatever, nothing was there to begin with, but her breaking it off took a toll on me for some reason. Like it hit my ego really, really bad because I was used to getting my way, or getting something out of an interaction with a woman.
Yeah.
And so in my head, I was just like, "What the fuck?" I remember talking to Kate.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Bro, like this happened and this happened," and of course, I didn't tell anybody that I got catfished. I was framing it as I was talking to this girl, and she never met up with me. She wasted my time. And then she broke it off and like led me on. But nobody knew. I think if I would have told people,
kind of like how you're framing this as though it's a girl, but it's really not. It's a dude.
How about you shut up? How about that? No, actually, after she broke it off, I was like, okay, there's got to be a catfish. And then I started thinking, if this is fucking dude, I'm gonna track him down and beat his fucking ass. But he might have liked that. But anyway, it wasn't. It was a woman, so. You're not going to get that narrative off.
Okay, you sound pretty defensive, but okay.
Anyway, so like 2 or 3 weeks pass. I'm back on Tinder, back on Hinge, bounce back, and stalking. Not stalking.
Stalking? No, you had it right the first time.
No, it was not stalking. I meant talking. No, I'll admit that first week I was trying to stalk the profile. Yes, I was. I definitely was. I definitely was. Yeah. Well, that's like any breakup though. Like you naturally go back and check on the individual to see if they're doing well or bad. I don't know why that is, but you just do. It happens.
No, I get that.
So anyway, I had moved on already. And I don't know. What'd you say?
It's unfortunately.
Yeah. It's as everybody, male or female. I don't care. If you say you have it, you're lying.
You're lying.
Yeah. So, anyway, so I had already moved on.
Mm-hmm.
And out of nowhere, this was like at 1 a.m. I remember I was up and I think I was smoking weed at the time.
Mm-hmm.
No, I wasn't. I was clean. I don't know what I was doing, but I was up at 1 a.m.
Yeah. Which was 2018.
2018.
For the record, because you're now clean.
Yes, I've been clean since 2017, actually.
I'm just trying to protect your employment. I'm
yeah,
just saying.
I've been clean since 2017, actually.
Oh, 2017, okay.
But anyway, so out of nowhere, I get this phone call. And I didn't recognize the phone number.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I did, and I just chose not to. I don't remember. But I ignored the phone call, and I got a text message. It was, hey. It was one of those, like... I thought it was one of those booty calls, right? And I just deleted the girl's contact, so I replied, come to find out, it's the girl that was catfishing me.
Mm-hmm.
And she called me again, and we were talking, and I was like, why are we talking? Like, what's the point of this? Like, are you catfishing me? Like, why are you here? Why are you doing this? And she convinced me that she wasn't catfishing me. She was just nervous. She was scared. She was just getting out of a relationship. Blah, blah, blah. So I told her, okay, the only way I'm going to entertain this, you and I have to meet for coffee at the fucking least. We got to do something. Like, this is not going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
It continued.
You put your foot down.
And yeah. It just that entire experience, man. It was a whole thing of insecurity in my behalf, trying to find excuses to reason certain behaviors. Like you don't have to attest that to just being catfish. You can apply that to actual relationships or even being in talks with someone that's toxic, or someone that's just wasting your time. Like you're finding justifications for red flags will always lead you down a path that you don't want to go down.
Yeah.
But you don't know it until you're done with that shit.
Right.
Anyway, so this individual, this girl, she was still posting on Instagram. Again, I was convinced that everything was working perfectly fine, that it was still real. And I'm embarrassed to admit this, but it's fine. Whatever. She wanted to officially be my girlfriend without ever fucking seeing me.
Okay.
And like an idiot, I said, okay. And I was so convinced, I was so, I guess, disillusioned. Is that the word?
I don't know.
But I was so convinced that this shit was real that I chose to invest my time and actual emotions into this. And 2 weeks later, again, she broke it off. And she was like, I actually have something to tell you, but I don't know how to say it. I don't want you to be mad.
I'm a man.
She went from feminine to, yeah, actually. No, she didn't tell me. And instead hung up the phone and blocked me. And like an idiot, I stalked that profile. And in my head, I'm like, you filthy bitch. Like, I was so resentful, man. Like,
Tell me how you really felt.
Don't hold back. It hit my ego like a motherfucker, man. But that's what I get. Like, trust your instincts. Trust your gut. Like, if you have certain red flags, acknowledge them and know that you're about to fuck up or that you did fuck up. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I get for not trusting myself. Mm-hmm. And keep in mind, it's so weird. It hit my ego really, really hard. Mm-hmm. Because I had actual relationships. Mm-hmm. I had actual interactions in person, but this experience made me feel like so little of a man.
Yeah. Because
I fell for it that it just like completely tore down my perception of myself as a man. Yeah. And I felt unqualified to win a date, or that like I was qualified to be attractive, whatever that. But you see what I'm saying? Like there are multiple layers of like trying to cover up insecurity, basically. Mm-hmm. So the holiday season passed, and throughout that whole time, I was spending time with my sisters, and it was great. The holiday season was great, but I didn't entertain anybody. I chose to just focus on myself. But I started picking up on certain things of the profile that I was looking at, because I was still stalking the whole time like an idiot. This was like 3 months of stalking. Keep in mind. And
3 months of stalking, but how long was this relationship going?
Like a month and a half, 2 months. So from contact July through September, then early October, she broke it off officially. Mm-hmm. October, November, December, stalking. Mm-hmm. That's where I was. Mm. January comes around. At that point, something happened between the holidays. I just completely dropped it, forgot about it, or chose to forget mm-hmm. about it, whatever. Mm-hmm. But something in my mind was bothering me. It was like, this is not right. Mm-hmm. Something is off about this, and I don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. Because I've been dropped before. I've been dumped and all that. And it was natural. I was like, oh, yeah, I saw that coming. Mm-hmm. But something's off. Mm-hmm. And so I started looking at the profile of the girl that was being used as a catfish, right?
Yeah.
I was like, wait a second. And I started looking and looking, like certain pictures actually, in hindsight, Some of them were really old. Some of them were just out of timeline. Like, I realized that, holy crap, I might have just gotten catfished and wasted my whole damn time for this. And so after doing a lot of investigating, yeah, I got catfished. So what sealed the deal was I messaged the real woman. And I was like, hey, do you recognize me? Low-key, I'm not gonna lie. In my heart, I really wanted her to say yes. Why? Like, I wanted to get that reply of "Leave me the hell alone," something like that. So in my head, like, okay, at the very least, this is real. And me, I'm just being emotional, and I didn't, whatever. You know, like I was looking for at least a negative reaction to justify it.
Mm-hmm.
And the real profile said, "No, who are you?" Dude, that was like a gut punch. One of the worst feelings I ever had, because it ensured that I was a fucking idiot.
How did you find the real profile? Long pause.
I'm actually smoking a cigar, so.
No, I know.
Okay, I gotta remember. This was so long ago.
Okay, because I need to learn how to like investigate. Like you should be like a private investigator if you found from a fake profile
so,
a real profile.
On Instagram back then, this is January 2019, you used to have the ability to sync your contacts and find them on there. This one day, before I messaged the real profile, this was again in yeah, we paused and I lost track of where I was. Anyway, so Instagram, oh, that's exactly where I was. That's funny. So Instagram gave you the option of syncing your contacts so you could see who was on your contacts, whatever. So it was one day before I messaged the girl, I saw this profile pop up on my contacts that I didn't recognize. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. I don't know anyone by this name. Should I say the name? Yeah, why not? Tori was the profile's name.
No, it's a dude.
Yeah, his name is Torrance. Yeah. No.
Tory Lanez.
Tory
just DMing you.
Nah, he definitely would have shot his shot, all right. Anyway. So this girl, so I ignored it because I was like, okay, I guess it must just be a mistake. But I did all my investigating and looking at my contacts, like, no, this has to be this one phone number, the person that was catfishing me at the time.
Yeah.
And so that's when I'd messaged the real girl.
Yeah.
And kind of find out from the real girl, the one I just showed y'all, don't say her name. This individual, she recognized the name and the person. 14 guys had messaged the real girl to let her know that somebody was using her information to catfish them.
How flattering.
Yeah.
Way to go, real girl.
Yeah, way to go. Like, for real. Good for her.
Ain't nobody using our photos, dude.
Ain't nobody use it. They don't even know I exist.
Man, somebody please use my photos to catfish somebody.
Please?
Help my self-esteem.
I'll pay you to use my photos.
I'll pay you to use my photos.
Oh my god. Yeah, so I told the girl, and she was like, yeah, I'm sorry this is going on, but I've already reported the police. Dude, like the catfish girl knew her blood type, knew her family, knew her high school, knew everything.
Maybe it was her friend.
Turns out, from the real girl, this Tory girl had like some type of beef with her in high school, and like she had a history of like stalking her, and she had been reported to the print. Like there was this whole background story to this Tory girl using the real girl's information for years already. And that kind of alleviated the gut punch, because I was like, oh, so I'm not the only one. Well, that's cool. But, I mean, as a man, certain things take a hit on your ego and your pride. That was one of them. Big time. And then like an idiot, I was reaching for what's the expression? Reaching for straws or something. Like I don't know.
So you hit up the real girl.
So after I had that conversation, I was still trying to get to know the real girl.
And you didn't receive a reply.
No, I did. So I remember I was like, hey, so look, even though this happened, I would love to actually get to know you. Just like to see who it is. Because like it's like, I don't know you, but the entire perception of you is completely warped and it's not your fault. But I genuinely would like to know like who you are. That's it. Of course,
yeah.
That was it.
God, you're such a saint.
I know.
Yeah, it's not had nothing to do with how attractive this girl is.
Was it really because of that?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it must have been.
That's the only reason.
Okay, yeah, I guess it must have been. I don't know. I guess so. Yeah, that's the most common.
Oh my God.
I'm not denying it. I'm just like, yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I guess that is the only logical explanation. So yeah, she was pretty, whatever. And she immediately replied with, well, though I appreciate it, something along the lines of, though I appreciate it, no, this is really weird. And I understood. Because that really was a fucking weird situation to be in.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine how traumatized this chick must be from having to hear from all these people, and then someone has it after you to this extent. You know, like it really must have been traumatizing in general. But anyway, so obviously left the girl alone and deleted my Instagram profile. I deleted everything, dude. Like completely vanished. And then I was so pissed because obviously, like, yeah, you wasted my time, but that's kind of an evil thing to do. Like, you're literally taking someone else's existence and then using it to manipulate other people. That's fucked up. I don't care how insecure you are. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
And so I remember I called Tori and she actually picked up. And I told her, like, hey, I know everything. Don't try to deny it. I just want to know why. Like, what's the point? Were you just insecure? Like, you know, what is it? Like, because the real girl told me it was like 12, 14 guys that you did this to. So why? And she cussed me out. I remember she cussed me out. I don't remember the exact words. It was something along the lines of, I don't have to explain anything to you. Hung up and blocked me. Because I tried to, like, an iPhone, if you try to send a message and you're blocked, it'll show up as green instead of blue. And so I was like, damn. Well, now I don't feel as bad because it's definitely not my fault. Well, I mean, to some extent it is. I am responsible for putting myself in that position. But, you know, and that was that. Like, I got back in the gym, started talking to girls again in real life. Like, I steered clear of Tinder and Hinge and everything that had to do with that for a solid year and a half. Yeah. No, just 2019 at this point. No, a year. Yeah. I stuck to real women in person. And yeah, so that was my experience of getting catfished. But that made me think, like, damn, like, I wonder how many people must have gone through that type of experience with COVID. Like, I know there has to be. There has to be. There's no way that people have this much time on their hands, male or female, and somebody doesn't get played. Granted, maybe not to the extent that I got played to, because I really put myself in that position. I'm entirely responsible for that. So I've already overcome it. I already know. But
did you cash app this girl any money?
No.
Okay.
Thank God.
You could have gotten played harder.
I never Zelled, Cash App, PayPal, any of that because it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, you got to have coffee with me at least before I give you any type of money. Not that I would anyway. So instead, I just sent, a money order or like a blank check. I was like, just, you already ruined my life. Just take whatever you want at this point. No, I didn't do that. To the audience, no, I did not do that. Yeah, but I think that's like, that kind of helped me, not just in dating, because now I'm in a very, very amazing relationship. It's very fruitful. I love my girlfriend, still do, but it kind of made me really, really think. Next time, think about what you're doing. You know, I told myself, like, let's promise ourselves to think critically next time. If you see certain red flags, certain behaviors, recognize them and accept them for what they are, right? If you have to let go, let go. Don't put yourself in a position that compromises you simply because you want the satisfaction of having something now. Like with me in that situation, I was extending myself, schedule, life, and everything because I wanted so badly to have sex with this to have sex with this person, and then bam, turns out it's fake. You know, but you can really apply that to anything. You can apply that to being in a toxic relationship. You can apply that to being at a job you're miserable at. You can apply that to having a shitty car. Hell, you can hang on to something and you're like, no, I'll just do this and this and this, and it's fine, I'll fix it. But in the long run, it's detrimental to you. You know? Yeah. So I just kind of, to whoever, if anyone did have a negative emotional or mental experience during COVID and you kind of resorted to doing certain things that you wouldn't normally do, don't feel bad. I think everybody does that at some point. And COVID, I know it must have made a lot of people vulnerable, you know? And, sorry, fuck you. I'm just kidding. Nah, I let that go. I let that go a long time ago. No, I don't hold any resentment for any of that. If I did, I wouldn't be in a happy relationship. So, here I am. That'll show you. Yeah.
By the way, we're in front of a live studio audience of 2 people right now.
Yeah.
Just for the record.
So if you hear any giggling or clapping or anything, it's not the ghosts. Not this time. It's real people. I don't know. Do you have any insight on or anything to say about from what you just heard, man? I don't think, actually, before I told you this, did you even know? Did I ever tell you this?
No, you never told me.
So this is your first time finding out. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I don't hang out with losers, so we're not hanging out anymore.
Oh, that's cool.
No, man. That's wild, dude. That's wild. But you got what you deserved.
Yeah. No, that's
You chased after the stupidest reason to entertain a female, and you got bit for it. So it's like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like you were treating her like she was just a conquest, just a trophy for you to obtain.
Yeah.
And had no real interest of knowing her as a person if it wasn't for her looks. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, looks always play a part in it, but like you said that you just wanted to hit it.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, shoot, you got played.
Yeah.
So
played yourself, really.
Yeah, so I don't have any sympathy for you, I guess is the moral of the story.
Way to validate my experience.
I know, right? You
so
get all vulnerable and open up to me.
So good.
I don't give you nothing.
Dumbass. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate your insight, man. Yeah. Take a fucking seat. Why don't you?
Stupid.
Yeah, you sure took your fucking seat, didn't you? Yeah.
No, but that sucks, dude. Like on like a real more emotional side of this, like I know that must have really hurt. I know that must have hurt, and I'm sure like your that must have hit your pride and your self-esteem, and because I'm sure for a while there you were thinking, dang, like I'm able to really pull something out here.
Yeah.
And she is fine.
Yeah.
And she's into me. And then it's like, dang, reality sucks.
Yeah.
It's like, shoot, but I mean, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Yeah, dude. I don't know. I've never been in that type of situation. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. But dude, you got to be careful with trannies online.
That is a
Wait,
hold on. Wait. Before you make your statement,
Just open up.
Wait a second. Before you fucking say what you're going to say, because I know what you're going to say. There's nothing wrong in my eyes with being trans. I support the movement of LGBTQ. I'm perfectly fine with accepting and having women that are actually men, whatever. I accept that. I know you may not.
I mean, I know you accept that.
Yeah.
You've been on many dates with them, so that makes sense.
They were really nice guys. I mean, girls. No, that's a joke. No, we can't make those jokes. No. But I'm disclosing that now because exactly where your sentence was starting, I know exactly where I was going to go.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, anyway, I don't. What were we talking? Oh, yeah, trannies.
A lot of trans.
Sorry, that was like an emotional topic for me. Yeah, no, dude. Like these dudes be finer than the chicks on the dating app.
Yeah.
Then it's like if they don't tell you TS on their profile, they'll really be fooling dudes out here.
You're in for a hell of a surprise.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm like, whoa. But I mean, they post the same nasty pictures that these provocatively dressed or undressed women post. Yeah, these Jezebels.
That's a joke.
Yeah,
that's on my end.
No, that's not a joke on my end. It's like it is what it is.
Yeah, but that's what I don't agree with that though. I don't agree with fooling people in order to validate your.
Yeah.
So if you are trans. I think
come out and say that.
It's fair to say TS.
Yes,
I think that's perfectly
that's the right thing to do.
That is the right thing to do.
Yes, please.
Like you need to disclose that. I mean, I get it.
But mean, they'll get killed, dude. Like if they don't disclose that, like as a man, that's a masculine man.
Yeah.
Filled with testosterone. You take a girl out, then you're trying to go home with her.
Yeah.
And then pull her pants down, that's a shocking experience that
you can get killed for that.
You can get they have gotten killed for that. And it's like that's a shame that you got killed for it, but at the same time, again, you had it coming because you out here trying to fool people. It's like be honest. Be honest. Like be who you are, and I mean that's no way to form a relationship with anybody.
No.
Be you.
Yeah.
If that's you, then let it be known that that's you.
Yeah. It's because look, men in general, my experience should speak to that. Egos are very fragile.
Mm-hmm.
So if finding out that the person you're on a date with is trans and you weren't expecting it or even picked up on it, I mean, the Adam's apple is a dead giveaway. But, if you come home to that, I'm not saying it's justified, but I know I've met guys that would not take that well, and they would definitely be the guy that murders a transsexual woman or man, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, no.
I mean, dude, like there's dudes that'll kill somebody over not paying them $10-$20. Yeah. It's like it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's like, oh, I found out that you're a dude. Now you're getting beat down like a dude.
Yeah.
It's like it's just about getting played.
Yeah.
And you're trying to play me. That's really what it comes down to. It's like that's just wrong, dude. I watched a YouTube video of this dude that was a tranny, and he did that at the club, ended up making out with this dude, and then the dude ended up putting his hands down there and felt something different.
Oof.
And that did not turn out well for that trans dude. I'm like, well, what did you expect?
Oh man!
Like, whoa, come on now.
Yeah, at least in the dating aspect, yeah, I think be transparent in what you identify as.
Yeah, put it straight out there.
Yeah, but it's complicated, man. Like, well, neither of us are a part of that community, so we have no idea what the real struggles are. But from what I understand, in talking to people that are a part of that, it's already difficult to navigate this world as a straight person and not knowing who the hell you are, and so you're still discovering yourself.
Yeah,
I can only imagine.
Yeah,
how much more difficult it is to have identity problems and then being insecure, and on top of that, you're struggling with coming out as male, female, trans, gay, bi, whatever it is. So there are like added layers that make it even more difficult. So I understand why they wouldn't necessarily disclose, but I think as a safety precaution, you should.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe it's my opinion is maybe our opinions aren't valid. Again, we don't know what that's truly like to be a part of that. But based off of what I know and talking to some, it can be extremely dangerous just to be a part of the community to begin with.
For sure.
In general.
For sure.
But so to end this podcast, I kind of live by that now. Just being real with yourself, like not just like, yeah, I'm a real ass guy or being a real ass chick. It's more so like, if you don't know who you are, take the time to get to know yourself, discover yourself, know what you stand for, know what you don't stand for, and just try to be as honest as you can with whoever it is that you interact with, whether it's dating, friendships, honesty bleeds into every aspect of your life if you allow it to. And I think that's what I have to say.
Yeah. I think that we should have a healthy balance of accepting where we're at, but not completely accepting everything about ourselves. I think that there's an ideal that we should be striving after to be improving ourselves. Because if you just accept yourself as you are, then you're missing out on the potential of who you could become. And I think that that's part of the problem with self-help nowadays is a lot of the message of self-help is, oh, love yourself, have self-care, have like, accept everything about yourself. It's like, no, there's major consequences to that.
Yeah.
It's like people don't care about how much you love yourself. They're going to treat you according to how you're presenting yourself in the world. And if you're presenting something negative in the world, you're going to get negative consequences for it. It's like, oh, we don't praise Hitler for accepting himself. Yeah. It's like, no, he wasn't striving after the right ideal. Yeah. So, accept where you're at, but don't accept yourself fully. Accept the good things about you, but improve overall.
Yeah, improve.
Yeah, improve.
Yeah.
Do the right thing. Do the right thing. That's what it comes down to. Do the right thing towards yourself and towards people. Just do the right thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right.
All right.
Well, this is Mario.
And Clint.
We're out.